Midday, a federal grand jury has indicted Alec Murdaugh on 22 new charges in connection to his alleged financial schemes. Well, Fox Carolina's Grace Runkle has read through the entire 28-page document. Grace, what have you learned?
Well, convicted killer Alec Murdaugh is now facing federal conspiracy, wire fraud, bank fraud, and money laundering charges. And these papers outline 3 different schemes that prosecutors say Murdaugh used to steal property and money from the clients at his law firm. Murdaugh is facing 2 life sentences for the murders of his wife and his youngest son. He's in the process of appealing that conviction, however. Now, at the time of his murder trial, Murdaugh was facing about 100 charges related to his financial crimes, and he confessed to many of them while on the stand. After the trial, though, a state grand jury added on tax evasion charges, so these federal charges are just the latest in a long line. Now, they're the result of an investigation by the FBI. Agents uncovered how Murdaugh created fake annuities, charged clients for fraudulent expenses, and even deposited money into his very own personal accounts. And we did the math. If found guilty of all 22 charges and given the maximum sentence for each, Murdaugh would be facing 480 years behind bars. In the studio, Grace Runkle, Fox Carolina News.